Hey guys, it's Dub with Dub's Cool Finds. Where am I? I'm in the car. So thank you for coming and being my passenger while I drive home. So what am I up to today? Well, it's a Saturday. First of all, let me try and fix this a little. Okay. All right, let me get out of this. I should have probably waited till I got out of this little subdivision to talk to you, but oh, that's cute. They have their little side area decorated with like cactuses and stuff, so that's kind of cool. Fits the DFW weather. But anyway, today is Saturday. It's a Saturday morning. It is 10 o'clock on the dot. So yes, I'm already dressed. I actually have makeup on. Woohoo! And I'm dressed, and I've been out of the house since 8. So my parents flew in today from Jacksonville, Florida, and I was curious how it was going to be because, you know, my mom has been suffering with I don't know if she's been, my dad has never said if she's been clinically diagnosed as some form of early dementia or anything. He said she was a lot closer than he was in his words, so I don't quite know what that means or what he wants to admit or believe. You know, sometimes you just gotta live in your fantasy world and make it through life, if it doesn't harm anybody. But so, and then she was on medication that when she was here last time, I thought it was helping her. Well, they called me and asked me to pick them up at the airport. So I'm always that person. It's just kind of weird, and I don't. I guess a little tiny piece of me minds, only for the fact that not in being asked to do things and not in the doing of the things. I love it. I love to be of help to them. I love they can depend on me. It makes me feel really good. They know that they ask me something, I'm there, right? It's just that minor piece of my brain that's like, I've always done this alone, and it's like, you don't want like, oh, you're doing an amazing job all the time or anything, but once in a blue moon would kind of be nice, or, you know, I don't know, because all the rest of my family, they're all married, and, you know, so things are a little easier for them, financially than me, easier just physically, because, you know, if you can't do something, the other person can help out and that kind of stuff. But I do take pride in the fact they call me to do stuff for them, which I enjoy. And like I said, I'm very happy. It makes me feel very good that they know they can depend on me. So that's awesome. It's just like, yeah, every once in a while I want somebody to say, hey, do you need something? Maybe that's it, you know, like, is there anything you need? I know you're all by yourself. Do you need anything? Nobody ever says that. So stop your whining, Deb. You are handling things all by yourself like a goat. One person at my old job called me that, and he was like, he was a young guy, like in his 20s, and he's like, Deb, you're the goat. And I'm like, the way you said it, I knew it was something good, so I pretended like I knew what it meant at the time. And then he said it like a second time, and then one of the managing guys said, hey, I don't know if she knows what that means. You keep calling her the goat. And he's like, oh, no, I'm sure she knows what it means. And I go, yeah, it's fine. I didn't. But then I hurried up and Googled it after the meeting. And it's greatest of all time, G-O-A-T, goat. So, yay, compliment. But yeah, so I'm cool. I can handle everything. I can do it all, and everything's fine. But every once in a while, that little piece of you goes, why doesn't anybody ever see that, yes, I can do it, but maybe I'd like some help, you know? I think I've always been so overly able to do things and handle it myself no matter what. Like, I'll find a way to do it. I'll ask somebody how to do it. You know, once we have the internet, it's like, I'm just going to YouTube it or Google it, and I'll figure it out, and all that kind of stuff. Like at work, they're starting to use, well, one person is using this thing called Smartsheets. I've never used Smartsheets, but it looks really, really cool. And it looks like something that would be of value for me to know. So I told, there's a neighborhood garage sale, September 6 through 8. Ooh, remember that. It's a whole community, and it's nice houses here. I gotta remember that. I love garage sales, estate sales. I liked when I would go with my parents because it was fun. by myself is not as fun, but I like it. Anyway, yes, I see squirrels and phew, goes my attention. So I heard that, and one of the coworkers came in and said, you know, we're trying to do one of these to create like a work order system, whatever. And I was like, I'm really interested in learning this. I'm going to YouTube it or whatever. I'm going to find a way to learn it. And she's like, oh my gosh, if you do that, I'd love if you could like take over and create this thing. And I'm thinking, cha-ching, great on my review, everything right, value to the company, yes. So I've always been that way. Like, I'll learn it, I'll figure it out, I'll do it. I mean, I brought a freaking full-size treadmill down my stairs and into my house, out of my car, down my stairs and into my house by myself. So I can do things when I have to. And you saw me take apart that, my giant bed. Oh my God. My foot is still a little sore. But I could do it, right? So, but every once in a while, it'd be nice if somebody said, hey, need any help with that? Hey, can I do that for you? Just kind of be nice. Actually, to the point where I'm thinking, maybe it wouldn't be bad to find a man. And that's so against, like, I can do it alone. I don't need a man in my life. I mean, and that's more out of fear of rejection and fear of picking badly. Oh my gosh, that garage sale community is still going. It is still going. This is going to be huge. Put this on my calendar. Huge. It just keeps going. Anyway, so back to my original story. Oh my gosh, Deb. You're almost home. You haven't even started your story. So anyway, it's Saturday morning. They asked me to pick him up at the airport and drive him to my brother's house, the one that I don't have any interaction with anymore, but to drive him there, and that's where they're staying. And then he also asked me on next Saturday to drive them back to the airport from my brother's house. So you're saying, why can't your brother do that when they're coming to his house? Very good question. Okay. Anywho, let Deb do it. She has no life. But, but I'm just really bummed because, okay, so I'm waiting there at the drop-off, and the guy keeps making me move a little, you know, farther down the row. It's at Love Field, which is a really nice airport. It's basically Southwest Airlines flies out of there, and like private planes and stuff. So it's smaller, so easier. I thought, that's great. I'm glad my brother, the one in Florida, I'm glad that brother booked him on, you know, Southwest, because I just thought it would be less confusing for them. It's a straight, you know, here's the door in, here's the door out. No, go to this terminal, that, none of that kind of stuff. So, but my mom came out and she was just, I could just see steam coming out of her head. She was angry as heck and close to tears. And I'm just like, what? But first a man comes out, one of the, I don't know what their title is, but the guys that are there at the airport to help people. He comes up and he goes to the car behind me and he's like, are you waiting for these people? And he points to the doors, but I can't see in the doors yet. And she's like, no, I don't know them. And then all of a sudden I saw my mom's head pop out and I was like, no, they belong to me. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, your mom was really worried that, you know, about finding you and everything. So I'm so glad you're here. And I was like, well, that's weird, because I told my dad I was sitting right out there. Okay. First kind of red flag kind of thing. And then I saw how mad she was. And I'm like, what? So she gets in the car and she's like yelling at my dad. And then it comes out that my dad, when this man walked by and he had a wheelchair and he was like, do you guys need any help? And he said, yeah, my wife can ride in the wheelchair so she doesn't have to walk all that way. She was very hurt by that. Not even, because I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind. I was joking around, like, I wouldn't mind why, you know, going in the wheelchair, letting somebody push me around the airport and I don't have to walk. She was like, no. So I'm knowing in her head, she's thinking you did it because I can't I can't do it myself, or I'm too, you know, disabled or whatever. So she took it that way, as in there's something, you think there's something wrong, to my dad, you know, that he thought there was something wrong with her, that she needed to be in a wheelchair. And she was like, she was almost in tears, going, you put me in a wheelchair. And he's like, no, it's just a chair that they push people around. It's not like a regular wheelchair. No, it's a wheelchair. You put me in. She was already hurt and upset and just kept going. And then she was sitting in the front and he was in the back. And then she would say things to him like, you know, why did you do this with the car? And he was like, what? So she kept getting angry about things, but not able to clearly vocalize them. And they weren't all based in like fact. It was just, yeah, it was very disheartening to see that. And it was the whole half an hour trip from the airport to my brother's. She's like, he's making me stay places I don't want to stay. Your brother doesn't even know that we're coming. And I'm like, I'm sure you told him, Mom. It's okay. He always welcomes you. No, we might have to sleep outside. I'm like, Mom, no, they're not gonna make you sleep outside. And then even when we got there and I dropped him off, she's like, I said, I'm surprised the kids aren't like looking out the window for you, because they love my parents, right? My mom said, well, they don't know we're coming. My dad's like just standing there trying to call them to let them in the house, and I'm like, Dad, you let him know, right? He goes, of course he knows we're coming. And my mom's like, no, he does not. And then she got upset again. So yeah, it was just odd, and yeah, it's bad. So I kept trying to bring up, like I told you, things from the past and remind her about it. She'd be like, oh, I remember that, and make her a little happy. But then she'd go back onto some other thing that was in her head that she was upset with my dad about. So yeah, and she like turned around at one point and said, you did that with the car. You remember with the car? And he's just like, I have no idea what she's talking about. You know, I mean, he didn't say that, but you could tell by the look on his face. It was just like, I don't know what to say, because I don't know what she's talking about. So yeah, it's getting bad. I don't know. Now I can't judge. I'd have to talk to my other brother, but I can't tell if that's because they're traveling, and you know, when people that are having issues like that, when they're taken out of their norm, it really, you know, the routine, it really affects them. So I don't know if it was because of the travel, and you know, they've been up since they left the house at 5 a.m. in Florida to get here and all that. I don't know if that's part of it, or if this is just her new state of being or not. But yeah, it was quite disheartening and quite sad. You know, I miss my mom, my mom, and you know, talking things through with her and stuff. And I really can't anymore. So it's like, it's almost like a preparation for when I'm going to lose them, you know. Maybe that's the plan, that you know, I'm losing her in little pieces, so the ultimate won't be as heart crushing, even though it will be. But you know what I mean? Like, and even them moving to Florida and me seeing them less and less, and even this week, you know, I'm like, am I gonna see you guys at all? Because I work so late and everything. And because at first he was like, well, my mom was like, we can do lunch, and I said, no, I can't really do that unless you came to my work, which they have no car here, so they can't do anything. And I said, I don't get home till 7 at night. I said, but since you're here, you let me know at night you want to have dinner, and I'll just cut work. I don't care. You know, you can only have, I mean, I'm lucky that my parents to the age that I have them, so I'm not missing a minute. So if I have to cut work early and do something with them, that's fine. But normally my brother here just takes up all their time, and then the rest of us don't really get to see them that much. So, but she's happy. When I saw the kids come out, the little, her grandchildren from my brother are the same age as my grandchildren with my daughter. So my mom's grandchildren and great-grandchildren, 3 of them are the same age. So like my little Amelia is gonna be 4 in December, which blows my mind. And so their little one is gonna be 4 soon. So, but she ran out in her little top and her little underpants. She ran out of the house and just ran to my dad, which is funny because that's what my daughter would do. And then the other girl, who's older, is the oldest. She's the oldest, like Jackson. My Jackson's the oldest, so 10, 9 or 10, I believe. I don't know if she was first, or I don't know the exact order they were born. No, she was. Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, she came out and grabbed my mom, and so then I saw the big smile on my mom's face. So I know seeing the kids at least made her happy for a moment. So that was good to see, and then I just left. But yeah, it was heartbreaking. I don't know if any of you have gone through that with a relative or a parent, but yeah, the only thing I can say that works for me is, like I said, bringing up past funny things and experiences we've had that she's able to remember, she's able to still find funny, and I can get her to laugh a little and try and break her out of that mad, sad thing. Like, she's just mad at my dad all the time, which is just hard to deal with, because he's being, for my dad, I mean, he was always a nice guy, but he had his mean streaks. Nothing bad, nothing, no verbal abuse, no physical abuse, nothing like that. But, he'd say some things sometimes that would just kind of cut you, like, whoa, when he was angry. But he is just being so kind to her, and so, like, when she argues with him, he just either doesn't say anything, or he kind of tries to, figure it out, or he's being so sweet and she's being so mean. It's just, God, life is so weird, isn't it? But yeah, so that's what we're going through right now. It was good to see them. I got to hug them, and it was nice. But maybe this is all a way of that separation. So when anything finally does happen, which life, right? Everybody's got to go at some time. Unfortunately, I want to be here forever because I just have so many things to do, and I just enjoy everything. I just find such pleasure in everything. I don't want to stop that, so I'm going to live forever. But the rest of you, everything dies, right? So it's going to happen. It's just, I've got to make it through that, because again, it's just me. There's nobody there comforting me. There's nobody there helping me through it. There's nobody there, talking about it with me, or talking about past times, or any of that kind of stuff. It's just me. And it's not like that just happened to me. I was a part of that too. I could have been looking for someone, but I just needed to raise my kids, and I was afraid I was going to make a third bad choice, and I didn't want to do that to my kids even more than to myself. They'd already, lost 2 people. I'm like, I can't do this again. Well, my daughter lost 1, but, and then it got to the point where I got set in my ways, lost all confidence as far as flirting, felt I didn't look good enough to be attractive to someone. Sorry, I'm burying my soul. But, all those things then got into my head, and I just never tried again. I have been alone since my daughter was little. I've been alone 30 years. That's a long time, right? You get set in your ways, and that's why I miss Bella so much. But and I've always had my parents around to do stuff with and hang out with, or I always had Girl Scouts up to a certain point, and now I don't have either of those things. I have my work, so that's why I delve into my work. That's not gonna find me a man. There ain't no men there. And do I really want that? I don't know. But now I'm a little more willing to consider it, but have no idea how to go about achieving that thing. But at the least, after my cruise, I'm going to get me a little soulmate, gonna get me another dog. So, yeah, I'm gonna go rescue my dog. I'm so itching, so ready for that. Like, I want my little buddy back, and I have to keep telling myself it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be a Bella 2. They're not gonna have the same qualities and stuff, and they might have a lot better ones in some ways and maybe worse ones in other ways. But like, I keep remembering, oh my God, Bella was the kind of puppy that never tore up my house, that never wrecked furniture. She didn't chew shoes. Now she'd go in my daughter's room and steal her undergarments. Okay, yeah, didn't she just didn't, and she was just always my buddy, and she just always wanted to be by me, and we were just always so close. And yeah, it was, I'm not, I mean, if I find some dog like that again, hallelujah, Bella, you can be looking out for me. But if I find one with other qualities that are just as great in their way, I just got to get that in my head. It's not going to be the same exact thing as that was. But hopefully, yeah, I want to get a girl dog. I like just girl dogs. I don't like, a lot of boy dogs will like mark their territory or different things, and yeah, girl dogs usually don't, and I've just always had female dogs, so it's kind of what I'm gonna try to do, but it'll, you know, who knows where my heart will be drawn. But yeah, so, and I want to take my time and make the right choice, not just, I need a dog, boom, and then it doesn't work out, because I don't want to give a dog back to a rescue, you know. I don't want to, you know, be like, this dog isn't working for me, take it away. No, I don't want to do that to this poor animal, so I want to make the right choice. But it's going to be hard, because I'm one of those ones that, oh, dog, oh, this one, I love you, come home with me. You know, I just don't want to do that. That's how we did Bella. It's like we saw all the pictures. We were at a movie on Christmas Day, and her friends who had the mom and dad dog said, oh, they were just born Christmas morning. Here's pictures of all the puppies. Which one do you want? You get first choice. And I saw little Bella there with that little black heart spot on her back near her booty, and I was just like, that's the one. And she was the runt, so yeah, and it was a girl, so everything there, right? All my boxes checked, right? So she was mine, and well, she was my daughter's. I got her from my daughter, but then she just attached to me. I fell in love with her, and that was the end of that love story. So, but yeah, that's what happened this morning with my parents. So pray for my mom. So either, I mean, the memory loss is, yeah, it's bad, but if she didn't know it as much, that would be better. And if she could just be happier, it's that anger and that sadness that is just, but I do have to admit that if I was honest, my mom's never been a mean person by any means, but she always had a more negative attitude of, you know, like something would happen and she would just focus on the negative part of what happened and not redirect and be like, yeah, that was crappy, that happened, but this happened, you know, yay. It was always no. And like I said, the house she lived in, she hated things in that house, but would do not a dang thing to change it, and just be hurt and angry that my dad wasn't doing it, even though he was working, you know, ungodly hours. So yeah, so I could see why maybe through all this, that's just becoming a larger part of her. I'm hoping if something like that happened to me, it would bring out the more positive side of me more, I'm hoping. But, you know, such is life, right? Anyway, I'm at Dollar Tree. I need toilet paper. Sorry, TMI. But thank God I have a guest bathroom, because I'm like, I'm out of toilet paper. Oh, guest bathroom. See, look for the positive. But anyway, I'm going to go in there and do a little shopping and recharge my brain and recharge the positivity and get back out there. There's nothing I can do about her situation, so I could just, when I'm with her, make the best of it and enjoy the moments we have and try and redirect that anger into maybe some laughter and yeah, and enjoy any minute that I do get with them and not concentrate on the negative part of it. So that is my goal. My goal in life, actually. Anyway, so, and I'm wearing different glasses today. Do you like my little sunglasses? I had the green ones on all the time. Those are Del Sol. But I noticed whenever I go in stores or something, I like put them on top of my head, and the arm part, whatever it's called, has a crack in it. And I don't know if you know that, but Del Sol stuff is guaranteed forever. So the sunglasses, at least, I know. So you can send, I don't know, I gotta look at I saved the box, so I gotta look at how you do it, but I'm gonna request a replacement for those. But that's why, thank gosh, I have these. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go and go into my store. Thanks for listening to my story. Thanks for being my passenger. You were amazing. You just let me talk and talk. You're a great listener. So you just let me go on and on. And I can hear you next to me going, oh, yes, oh, you're awesome, Deb. You're wonderful. You're the GOAT, Deb. Okay, you were saying it. I don't care if you think you weren't. You were. You just forgot. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Love you. Bye. Mwah.